Hello everyone, my name is Darius Swift,
And I'm Victoria Mitchell.
and we are with the Gift of Reading.
And what that means is we volunteer our time every week to go to the Hampton City jails and distribute books to inmates.
We decided to get in front of the camera, get uncomfortable actually, and talk to you guys about what it is that we actually do with the Gift of Reading. A lot of times people ask, you and myself, questions about what do we do, how can we help, and things of that nature. And so here we are.
Get ready to hear some answers. So the first question we should start with is how this all got started.
The Gift of Reading started about 2 years ago. A lady named Rebecca Dillow, her and I came together and wanted to serve this particular population. From there, we reached out to Hampton City Jail to see what needs can we meet, and they said that we could help out with the library services. We started a book drive, collected over 3,000 books with another organization. When we went to go donate the books, we realized that there wasn't anyone on the other end to actually distribute the books to the inmate. And that leads us to our next question. What do we actually do with the Gift of Reading?
So what we actually do every Thursday night is we alternate between the main jail and the men's annex. And we go into the facility where there are book carts in the library. We load up the book carts with books that we think would be of interest or newer books that they may not have seen lately, and we take them to all of the cells. So that's a time that we can fellowship with the folks that are incarcerated. We can pass out books. We can help them select a book because it'll be about 2 weeks before we see them again. And reading is a great way for them to spend their time.
One question that a lot of individuals pose to me is, what benefits do the inmates receive from the Gift of Reading?
Well, I think there's a lot of gifts to be received on both sides. One obvious one is that they get the opportunity to select a book that might take them out of the situation that they're in. Take their mind somewhere else that might be more productive or more healthy, whether it's just a thriller or a novel that they might enjoy that's going to help them pass the time, or even a self-help book. A lot of people are trying to use that time to better themselves, either with educational material, self-help. Dictionaries are also very popular.
A gift of seeing someone other than their fellow inmates, and seeing someone from the outside. One of the things is not every inmate has a visitor. Not every inmate has a family member that's close nearby, and so over time you develop relationships, and so the gift of just being present and seeing inmates for
the person they are,
and not necessarily the crime that they committed to be in that situation. I think that they, really, really appreciate that, and they express their appreciation for us to come in there on a weekly basis, just to pass out books.
Absolutely, they are very welcoming and respectful when we're in their space. They all constantly thank us for taking the time and for bringing the reading materials, and they also do appreciate that fellowship. I think it's something special to them when they can have someone that cares to take the time and also can look them in the eye and see them for who they are. And whether it's discussing the football game that is on, or the book that they've been reading, when we get into a meaningful conversation about the books that we're bringing by, or just whatever's happening that day, you really get taken out of that situation. You forget that you're there.
I think that's a great segue to the next question. That is, what do we receive? What gift do we receive from this experience? And for me, personally, this is I look forward to it every Thursday. This is one of the things that uplifts me every Thursday. To see individuals who really appreciate you, and that love, that kinship that they, give to me is something that helps me, go throughout the day, helps me take myself out of anything that I may be going through in this particular week. So I mean, I can't thank them enough for allowing me to be able to come in their space, and they accept me in their space.
Absolutely. I mean, I feel the same way. It's a blessing when we have that opportunity to go and do something good and meaningful for somebody else, especially when it's so appreciated.
Yeah. And sometimes it's almost as like a social gathering, as Victoria stated. Oftentimes, the game is on TV. We're talking about a good novel that we both read together, and having that real deal fellowship kind of just takes you out of any and everything that you can imagine at that particular time, and just allows you to be present in the moment of really connecting with another person that you may not otherwise have connected with.
And something that's really meaningful and special to me too is it's easy to get caught up in my problems in my day-to-day, and when I take a break and get that opportunity to speak with somebody and understand fully the struggles that they have and the negative experience that they have happening for them right now, the unpleasant situation that they're in, and I can still see their heart and their spirit, and it's still very positive. That's very encouraging to me.
So one question that I often hear is, do I ever feel threatened inside of the jail? And so you as a woman, have you ever felt threatened?
I definitely have not. I mean, for the most part, it's just a safe environment. Sometimes we are occupying the same space. Oftentimes there's a barrier. But whether there is or not, they are always very respectful. It's genuinely a male population for the most part. One facility has only men. One facility has just a handful of women. But they are always very respectful. And
there was that one time when Victoria was repping her football team, the Vikings. I forgot who they were playing, but
that's true.
It didn't go well with her.
I got a lot of heat for my football choices.
Shout out to the Cowboys. There's a lot of Cowboys fans out there, so I'm always, in a safe haven.
But since we're both Phantoms, that's a lot of common ground, too. We get some cred on that.
Yeah, shout out to Phoebus High School.
Yeah, best high school ever.
The best high school ever.
So now that we made the gift of reading sound really fun, which it is, a lot of people ask, how can we help?
So we always ask for more volunteers. When we first started, Rebecca and I, we had a book club. We had a huge donation from VCU, Virginia Commonwealth University, of their common book at the time, which was Just Mercy by Brian Stevenson. And every week we met with a select group of inmates who were interested, and we talked about that particular book. And we worked through that book and shared feelings and thoughts of how that book impacts us and how we live. So we would love to get back to that space where we can have a book club with the gift of reading. But, of course, we need more volunteers.
Volunteers would go a long way, not just for book club, but as it is, there's 3 of us that are available on Thursday nights. What that looks like is volunteering at 2 different facilities, so we have to alternate every other week. And sometimes we're not even able to see all of the inmates in one facility. So somebody might get a book every 2 weeks, but somebody might only get a book once a month. If we had more volunteers, our hope is to have somebody at both the facilities every Thursday night. Nope.
We meet every Thursday at 8 o'clock. So if you're free on Thursday nights, we'll be out before 10 o'clock. We'll have the link available so that you can complete the application to volunteer with the Hampton Sheriff's Department. And so do you want to speak on that process a little bit?
Yeah, that's right. On the online link, it will direct you to a couple forms that you need to fill out for a background check and just a release of your information. That does take a couple weeks to get back, but once you're approved, you'll be able to come and volunteer with us.
Yeah. And we understand that individuals can't commit every week. And so there are other ways to volunteer. We also are always collecting books. And we have a beautiful drop-off location. Do you mind telling us where we're at right now?
We're at Dog-Eared Books in downtown Hampton. We're on Old Hampton Way, right near the Hampton History Museum. And we are a collection point for donations. One thing to bear in mind with donations is that they do all have to be paperback. No hardbacks are allowed.
Yeah, we always collecting books. One of the visions that Victoria and I share with the gift of reading is we would like to see a dictionary. Dictionaries in every pod and every cell. One of the stories that we heard from an inmate is that he writes letters to his daughter, and as she's getting older, he wants to make sure that as he's writing those letters, he spells the words correctly. And so, like I said, our vision is to see, a dictionary within every single pod, every single cell block, so that the inmates can use at their own leisure. So a lot of popular titles for donating books are urban novels.
They really do like thrillers like James Patterson, Dean Koontz, Baldacci, Vince Flynn. Those are their favorite things to read. And definitely the urban novels is something that we have a shortage of.
Westerns. Definitely we hear our fair share of westerns. John Grisham.
Anything that you would read.
Yeah, definitely.
Anything that you would enjoy. Keep in mind that they're mostly male population, but they do like current titles and things that are fast-paced and fun to read.
So if you're free on Thursday nights at 8 p.m. to 10 p.m., we'll definitely have you out before 10 p.m. Please join us. The Gift of Reading. We're here every Thursday, and we would really appreciate more volunteers.
And more books.
And more books. And definitely more books.
Thanks for listening.